Hello students, welcome back on behalf of Shiksha Mandal's GS College of Commerce Wardha, and I am your subject teacher for the subject Business Economics BCCA 3rd Sem. In the last lectures or in the last sessions we have gone through with the law of demand, statement of law of demand. Then we have seen the curve, which is a very important factor or which is a very important part of the syllabus, that law of demands, demand curve along with that schedule. Okay, law of demand along with that schedule is one of the important element. Okay, in last lecture also I have told you, from exam point of view, prepare the law of demand, which is a very expected question. Okay, so we have seen the demand curve, how it moves. Demand curve moves like this from left to right. Okay, it slopes downward. Why it slopes downward? Because we have seen the price of the product, the different prices of the product and quantity demanded. Okay, when the price of the product is minimum, the demand is high. If you remember, we have seen the price and demand of the product in kgs. In that case, what happens when the demand is high? Okay, then the product will be less demanded in the market. When the prices are high, the product is less demanded in the market. But when the prices are low, the demand for the product will be high. So the demand curve slopes downward from left to right. Okay, this is always, you will find that the demand curve moves like this. So again and again I am telling you that the demand curve is an important thing, important factor that you need to do along with the schedule. The schedule and the curve we have seen in the last lecture. This is just the topics I am recollecting. Okay, then we have seen what are the assumptions. What were the assumptions? Price of the product. Okay, then income of the consumer. Okay, what is the price of the product? What are the rates of that particular commodity? Okay, that is one of the considerable factor, that is one of the assumption for law of demand. What is the price? Whenever you buy anything, very first you ask what is the price, what are the rates. Even the girls or the ladies who are buying the sarees or any salwar suit or something, first of all they will inquire about the rates or prices. So that is one of the important assumption, that price of the commodity. Then income. Can you afford that commodity? Are you able, your ability provides you to purchase that commodity? That we have seen. Okay, that covers under income of an individual or income of the consumer. Because again I will repeat that what is law of demand? It is an analysis of consumer behavior. How consumer behaves, how a buyer gives his response towards that particular product is law of demand. That how that law is set after going through after the research, the person, the Alfred Marshall thought that the law of demand works like this. Means when the prices are high, people will not buy the product, but when the prices of the same product are low, people will go to buy that product. This is simple law of demand, which we have seen with that schedule and along with the curve. And the assumptions. The next we were seeing that there are some other products. Okay, the substitute products. Then the other factors like we have seen geographical conditions, etc., etc. That we have seen everything in assumption. Now considering those assumptions, what is next? That is exceptions for law of demand. These exceptions means in what case or in what situation law of demand does not work or the law of demand fails. That is what is exceptions for law of demand. What is exception again? Exceptions are those situations or those points, those elements where law of demand do not work or law of demand fails. Means law of demand is not applicable in certain situations or in these conditions. That is why those are called exceptions of law of demand. Clear hai? Okay, we'll go ahead now. What is the first point? Giffen paradox. In England, there is one Sir Robert Giffen. Okay, he is an economist. Now, why we say that Giffen paradox or what is the Giffen concept? The person known as Giffen, Sir Robert Giffen, in England there was a such situation or a condition in the society that there were two products, that is a bread and meat. Okay, the people who used to eat non-veg, that meat. Now, why Giffen paradox is established? First of all, what he has studied, Sir Robert Giffen said that in the certain time, in the period, that period in the society, the prices of the bread were high. Okay, and the prices of the meat were also high. But in such situation, there was a such situation and condition in the market that as compared to the meat, the bread prices were high. But still, because the bread prices were high, but people started buying the meat. It means that was the opposite condition. Obviously, when the prices of any particular product is high, what law of demand says? When the prices are high, the demand will be low. Okay, are you getting my point? Are you understanding? So, but in this case, although the meat is always, the prices of the meat in the markets are high, but when the prices of the bread were high, although it as compared to meat, those prices were high, but still people used to prefer or people used to buy that non-veg product. So here the Giffen paradox, whatever the rule or whatever the thinking he has established, and that got converted into paradox, Giffen paradox. So Sir Robert Giffen, what he has said, that in certain situation the law of demand do not work or the law of demand is not applicable, it gets failed. Okay, that is why it is first assumption, the exception. Second is conspicuous goods. Now this conspicuous goods again concept was given by Mr. Wilburn. So this point or this exception is also known as Wilburn effect. What it is known as? It is known as Wilburn effect or a prestigious goods effect. In the society, there are poor people, middle class people and rich people. So prestigious goods like diamond or gold, these are purchased by whom? These are purchased by rich people. The people like who is daily working for his bread and butter, he will not buy those products. Or a common man or a middle class man, he will also not buy the prestigious products. Then who will purchase? The rich people, the people of high society, they are buying prestigious goods. So here what Mr. Wilburn wants to say, that although the rates of diamond and gold, here we will take the example of gold and diamond. Although the rates of these products or the prices of these products are high in the market, or because these are the prestigious goods, people still buy. But who are buying these products? Generally the rich people, high society people, they are buying these products. So this point is also so said as exception. This is not assumed in the assumption. Clear? So next is speculation. Many times consumer think, okay, there are some concepts in his mind, because again it is a study of consumer behavior, it is analysis of consumer behavior. The law of demand is analysis of consumer behavior. Now speculation, people think, consumer think that in future after 3 months, after 6 months, after 8 months, the prices of the product may get reduced. Okay, he is under that impression that the prices of the products will be reduced and I will buy those products at that time. So that thinking going to be failed in case of law of demand, or it might get failed, and that is why it is called as a speculation. This word is not exactly the word of economics, but why we have used this? Because we are speculating, we are thinking in advance that the products, the prices of such commodities or product may get reduced, the rates of the product will be reduced in the future. So that thinking may be failed, or that thought process is wrong for the law of demand. So price illusion. In case, what do you mean by illusion? First you need to understand the meaning of illusion. Illusion means, we can say, it's a wrong perception. Okay, the people think, okay, they are thinking about the what we say, the branded products. Here we can say the example of branded products, the products which has got name and fame in the market. So those are called branded products. In case of branded products, they are thinking, they means the consumers are thinking, the buyers are thinking that the prices of the product in the future or in coming days will the rates of the products will be reduced, and these branded products. So in case of branded products, the law of demand become exceptions because it will not work in that situation or in that condition. So price illusion. Ignorance factor, it means what? Now ignorance. You will see that in the society, when a consumer goes into the market to buy something, being a buyer, for example, you are going into the market, you like something and you think that I will buy that product or I will buy that commodity. But immediately the second thought comes in your mind, no, for a while I will wait, or for a while now I am ignoring that product. Although there is a need, I want to buy that product, but now I am ignoring. And after some time or after some days and some months, when he go to the market to buy the same products, he finds that the rates or the prices of the products which I was searching before that time, and now the rates are instead of decreasing, the rates are increasing, the rates are more higher. So what he did at that time, he ignored to buy that product, and that mentality, that same mindset has failed, and that ignorant factor is a loss for the consumer. So that is the exception of law of demand. Habitual goods. Okay, in case of habitual good, tea. Okay, maximum the people in the society, they are drinking tea. Okay, they are habitual with the tea, with drinking tea. So although the rates of the product of the tea, means the tea which you used to get of rupees 5 before 1 year or 2 year, now the same product you will get in rupees 10, but still you are drinking, still you are affording that product. It means what? The change in the price is not affected, is not made any change in the habit of the consumer. So that particular factor, that habitual goods, become the exception for law of demand. Okay, so the next is irrational or impulsive purchase. When consumer visits to the market or he is going into the market to buy something, okay, so his thinking, as we have seen, the wrong perceptions. Okay, he thinks that the prices of certain products might be failed now, I'll go later and I will purchase that product. But his mindset, whatever he has thought, whatever the thing that came into his mind while buying that product, again irrational and impulsive purchase. Many times, although you have a stock with you, still you are buying, you are not thinking about how much is there at my home, or still you go and buy that product. It means irrational. You cannot guess, you cannot think that such consumers are there and they are coming to the market to buy such products. So that ultimately becomes the exception, because in such cases the law of demand do not work, or the law of demand is not applicable, or it fails to apply. So that is why irrational and impulsive purchase. So how many exceptions we have seen? One, Giffen paradox. Sir Robert Giffen of England, he has given the example of that particular bread and wheat. So then conspicuous goods we have seen, that is the second point. Third is speculation, okay, the thinking or the mindset of the consumer. Then fourth we have seen price illusion, wrong perception regarding the branded products. Then fifth is ignorance factor. Okay, then seventh is habitual goods. We have taken the example of tea here, and the last is irrational and impulsive purchase. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. At least you must attempt these 7 points for the exception of law of demand. So this is enough for today. In the next session we are going to see the elasticity of demand, and we will discuss what is included in elasticity of demand and what is price elasticity of demand. By the time, stay safe, stay home.